Yeah, that statement came from the Toledo family attorney, and that attorney told me that the family is disappointed with Fox's decision.
From the station that is local for you, NBC4 at 11 starts now.
Day 4 of protests here in Columbus were nothing short of being loud and chaotic in downtown Columbus for hours. But tonight, there's a sense of calmness, a sense of peace. Good evening. Thank you for joining us tonight at 11 o'clock. I'm Rob Sneed.
I'm Mark Taylor.
And terrifying moments during a demonstration in Minneapolis today. A semi-truck drove through a crowd of protesters on a highway. No injuries or deaths reported, but we want to warn you, this video may be terrifying for some to see. Cell phone video shows protesters quickly running toward the edge of the bridge as this truck just barrels right through this crowd of people. Now, once it came to a stop, several people could be seen swarming the truck, and some even getting on top of it. Now, we're told the driver was taken to the hospital for injuries and then taken to jail. It's unclear if this was intentional. The chief of the Camden Police Department marched with protesters in New Jersey this weekend. The chief walked alongside protesters to help hold up a banner that said "Standing in Solidarity." Other officers also joined in this march. Although there was chaos, there were also moments of peace today. Mayor Andrew Ginther joined church leaders as they marched through the King Lincoln District. NBC4's Dan Perlman caught up with them earlier today.
Well, the demonstration
in the fight against COVID-19 in Ohio, the Department of Health released the latest numbers of cases. Now, across the state, more than 35,500 tested positive for COVID-19. That's nearly 500 more than yesterday. More than 2,100 people have died from the virus. Yeah, some protests remain peaceful. In other cases, police had to stop some from setting fires and destroying property. Daryl Forges has the latest from Minneapolis.
And finally tonight, a remarkable story. A 9-year-old British boy with cerebral palsy completed the last stage of his marathon walk for charity today.
Tobias Weller, who has autism and uses a walker, completed the 26 miles. Now, he did this during his country's lockdown, and it took him 70 days. He crossed the finish line outside of his home in England to cheers from loved ones and supporters. The boy helped raise more than $61,000 for a special needs school. Now, you talk about kids doing things for themselves, huh?
Yeah, and the community. Well said.
That exclusive video I obtained, you can see police officers rushing in and arresting a teenager and bringing him out. Now, while all of that chaos was happening inside, outside you had a row of parents upset, some of them crying, pacing, some of them praying, some of them even knocking on the door trying to get their kids to come out.
Do me a favor, guys. Can I see your hands? Okay, thank you.
Where's
You guys okay?
Yeah.
Only on WGN News, this is exclusive video. A parent says their child recorded from inside of their classroom the moment Evanston police rushed in and arrested a student during today's lockdown. We are blurring their face to shield their identity, but you can see officers placing the kid in handcuffs. A sigh of relief as students and parents embrace following a school lockdown at Evanston Township High School.
I feel happy that it's over with.
Orly Schwartz says she was in 9th grade biology class this morning when a teacher got up and locked the doors and told everyone to get down.
We ran into the back classroom, and it was kind of the thing oh wow, this is actually happening to me. The thought goes through your head, what do I do if someone comes in, or do I text? Who do I text? It's just overwhelming.
Those same thoughts were with other students as texts started going out to parents in the district.
He just texted me, "Mom, I'm scared," and they have us barricaded.
Daddy, I'm scared. I'm face down on the ground.
Evanston police say this started this morning around 9:30 when an Evanston Police School resource officer was told kids were smoking cannabis in the restroom. ETHS safety staff and the other officer went to the restroom.
The investigation also showed that there were 6 other individuals, in addition to these 2, that were in the bathroom at the time.
Police arrested 4 of those 6 students rather quickly, but they say 2 other students weren't arrested until some time later. The school went into a lockdown for several hours. Desperation among parents outside of the school started to increase as some of them were demanding the school open its doors and let their kids out.
They were scared, terrified, out of their mind, and it's a trauma reaction. And you get hysterical and you just want your kid out under any circumstance. And so I completely understand them, completely.
Police eventually lifted the lockdown around 12:40 this afternoon. No shots fired, no injuries. This comes as a huge relief to Nene Shelton, who says she loves this school, but after what happened today, she's making other plans for her child.
Oh, we're going home. We're getting out of here. No, he has to give me. That's mine. I need him out of there. Our children has been through enough in Evanston right now.
Today, authorities told me that they want to be clear that this lockdown has absolutely nothing to do with the shooting that happened November 28th that left one teenager dead and 4 other teens injured. Now, today, I also reached out to the district superintendent, and I have not heard back from him. Reporting live in Evanston, Rob Sneed, WGN News. Jackie and Taman, that man you mentioned that got shot, at last check he is in critical condition still and is being treated here at UFC. Now, authorities still trying to piece together everything that went wrong.
Got his pipe, boy.
One shot after the next echoed throughout the CTA Red Line station at 95th Street. At least 11 shots fired.
Damn.
WGN obtained video of the shooting. Chicago police say they arrested a CTA employee after they say he shot a man at the CTA Red Line station. Mike McCoy left speechless, like many of you may be right now. When you see that, man, what goes through your mind?
Wow.
Authorities say the 2 men got into it around 2 this morning, and then it turned physical. Investigators say one of those men then tried to walk away and walked down a flight of stairs. That's when police say the employee shot him 3 times on the lower abdomen, back, and leg. First responders took that man to the University of Chicago Medical Center in critical condition. WGN reached out to CTA for comment. A spokesperson told us that the employee is a customer assistant and was not allowed to have a gun on the job. They also sent us a statement that reads in part, quote, "The behavior of this one employee is not at all reflective of the thousands of hard-working, dedicated men and women who take pride in their work and responsibly perform their duties each day," end quote. Do you ride the train at all?
No.
Why?
I don't consider it safe. The employees are not safe. You know, they got to make it safe for the employees too.
And the shooting is still under investigation. Reporting live at UFC, Rob Sneed, WGN News. As Julian mentioned, there are still some here in front of the Kenosha County Courthouse. A lot of arguing and several arrests. Several arguments.
I work for my fruits and my labor.
And political discussions on the steps of the Kenosha County Courthouse as demonstrators with various opinions wait for the Kyle Rittenhouse verdict to come down.
I would be proud to have a child like that. I would be proud to have a child like Kyle Rittenhouse. I would. This kid is guilty as hell. It's unfortunate, but it's a fact.
I believe that Kyle was acting in self-defense. He came here to protect the community, clean up graffiti, and he was protecting the car lot down there when he was attacked.
We coexist and stand on the same ground. She walked away alive last night, so did I, so did Justin. I've not threatened her, she's not threatened me. I respect her point of view, she respects my point of view. At the end of the day, we have the right to life. This is why Kenosha will be a better city.
That's the general hope for many of the folks I spoke with here on both sides of this. Emily Cahill spoke with WGN News yesterday after a tense moment with other demonstrators of opposing views.
No, we're not.
Today,
It's way different.
She says things are calm for now.
I don't know if it'll stay that way once the verdict comes, but I hope and pray that it does.
However, a setback when a person showed up carrying a gun. WGN News crews asked the man what type of gun. He said it was a, quote, Colt AR-15A2. Wisconsin is an open carry state, and citizens can legally carry firearms in public without a permit unless a person is otherwise prohibited from having them. David Graham traveled from Ohio. He says he isn't concerned with the fussing among protesters on the courthouse stairs. Graham says he cares more about the actual business owners and citizens of Kenosha.
There's hurting people, and people that are done. But I talked to residents. I knocked on doors yesterday with 2 different restaurants, and They're scared no matter what the verdict is, and everybody forgets about them.
Keeping businesses and residents protected is local and state law enforcement's plan. Wisconsin's governor has authorized roughly 500 Wisconsin Army National Guard troops to report to Kenosha ahead of the verdict. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker tells WGN News he's dedicated law enforcement resources to Lake County in anticipation of the verdict and some possible overspill.
Of course, our safety officials, our public safety officials for the state of Illinois, state police in particular, but our coordinators have been in regular discussion not only with the city of Chicago, but also with northern suburbs that border Wisconsin to make sure that we're providing the support that they need where they need it. And so I'm pleased so far with the coordination that's gone on.
And tonight I reached out to the Kenosha Police Department and the Kenosha County Sheriff's Office to find out how many people were arrested tonight, and neither had that information available. Reporting live outside of the Kenosha County Courthouse, Rob Sneed, WGN News.